Alrighty, this is Art with North Carolina Vinyl Picker down here in Charlotte with Steve, and welcome to the morning show.
And good morning. Welcome. Early morning Sunday show. It's about to begin. Well, actually, it is beginning, so it's not about. So the last 4 days been on vacation. Spent it at the LPGA event. It's the Dow Great Lakes Classic. And it's actually a team event. So with the LPGA, so the women golfers, they have little two-person teams that they play, and each day they play kind of a different game. Might be best ball, or they both are hidden, but it's fun. And so I've been out there for 4 days. I mean, it's $10 a day, or 4 days for $25. One day I bought the special tickets, so you get to go to the stands and get the booze and the food, and great time. I've been there every time now, and I just kind of set up a vacation around it. The thing is, you sit out there, so I don't follow anybody. I just sit at one hole, the 12th hole, because you can see a lot of action around the 12th hole. And I'm just sore and I hurt, and I come home and I'm exhausted and I fall asleep. I mean, it's just excruciating to do this. Oh my God. And it's like I'm sitting in the sun the whole time, and the weather's been nice. It's been like upper 70s. One day it got called for a while because there was a big storm coming through, but then it got going again. But I sit in a spot, so by the time the afternoon hits, I'm in shade. But it feels like I just been beat up. My body hurts so badly. The arthritis in the back's killing me. It's like, I don't know. I'm just not. Maybe I don't think I'm tough enough to be a golf spectator. I should have worked out more. I should have took my lawn chair and sat out in my yard for a couple hours a day to kind of get my body ready for this. That's the problem. If you want to be a good spectator, sometimes you need to get in the proper type of exercise that will condition your body so you can handle this. I mean, 4 days straight's a big thing. That's a lot. There aren't too many people that are out there 4 days straight. I mean, right now, all the women golfers, hey, Steve, how you doing? Hi, Steve. I just work like first name basis out there. It's crazy, but yeah, I just didn't work out enough. So just kind of a fun tip for all of you. If you're going to do that, work out. So, but now it's back to work for me. So, but today I guess, boy, we always say that. What channel ever goes, today I got the worst album. This stuff sucks. Why would anybody ever want this music? Yeah, maybe that would be a fun. I should do that, but generally, if it sucks, why do I still have it? So it calls you into question. What's your problem? But we got some neat things today, so let's get going here. My record store was on vacation last week. Can you believe that crap? Actually, it'd be like 2 weeks ago. Took a vacation for a week. No records for a week. Yeah, that's you don't do that to vinyl junkies. That's just sick. But he's back. So here, this is a compilation. I got this, Radio Wasteland. Jim was able to get this for me. Waves of Distortion. I actually have it in CD too. Ah, man, I left that downstairs. I'm painting down in the basement. I've been playing this thing a lot. The CD, it's very tiny print. So, but I had him order this. Waves of Distortion. And this looks at the shoegaze movement from 1990 to 2022. I mean, it's just such a cool way, I mean, just to explore this. And I mean, this is just music. It's warped with reverb and delay and distortion. It's just beautiful. You know, when you think of shoegaze, you know, they consider, you know, the grandfather of shoegaze is the Velvet Underground. But then the Cocteau Twins and Jesus and the Mary Chain were all part of this movement. Now, they wasn't called shoegaze back then, but you know, because both of them, their vibes are in shoegaze. You can even take some Sonic Youth and Dinosaur Jr. as being part of it. You know, the shoegaze itself, it actually came New Music Express in 1971. They were doing an article about the group, was it Slow Dive. And in that article, they called it shoegaze. You know, they used to say, you know, it's just, you know, people just staring at their shoes as they're playing and that, but it was more that, it's just the music. And, you know, oftentimes you can think of shoegaze as like a Jesus and Mary Chain. Hard, this violent almost sound of these guitars and distortion going. But that's not it either. Again, it's Cocteau Twins. It's this beauty. It's this kind of almost taking you on a ride. Transcendental ride is what you can get from it. So it's really interesting. It's just, I mean, to me, it's beautiful. It's modern. And I've been transcendental. You know, grunge really took a beating on it. When grunge came, you know, shoegaze was still fairly new, but grunge took over. But shoegaze has never gone away. This came in, little explanation about it. I wish that what they had done would be to explain more about each group. There are groups on here from, you know, the UK, which is huge with this, but there's from Australia, from Sweden, and from America. Right? I mean, they have Ringo Death Star on here, which I thought was fantastic. Beach House is on here. They have Galaxy 500, which I was a little kind of, I mean, they have that softer, more shoegazy sound going on. You know, but it was before, well, maybe that album came out in 1990, that particular one. You know, the last one before they went to become Luna. I don't know. So there's nothing special on the inner sleeves. I'm just trying to push. I know, just set it aside. So I'm in love with this compilation. This is one of my favorite compilations I ever had. I wish they'd do a whole box set on this stuff, and I would buy it. It's just beautiful. Beautiful music. Again, it's just not, it's not about noise. It's just, there's this beauty that's going on with it. Wonderful stuff. Something that I am heavily into. Really like that. Next, do you know that there's a tunnel under Ocean Bridge? I personally did not, but Lana Del Rey tells me there is, so there is. And yes, this kind of porn. So it's the alternative cover art. So Lana Del Rey, or as her parents would call her, Elizabeth Woolridge Grant. Isn't that a mouthful on the colored vinyl? She, this is her 9th album, and it's a pretty quiet album. There we go. She likes having pictures with family or people and stuff, which I appreciated that, you know, with her. This album is kind of more, or at least even you could describe her music as more cinematic. Dealing with tragic romance, I think, would be a good word, and full of melancholy. There we got the words on there. It is, you know, it's that way. It can be kind of a bummer type music, but there's beauty to it, and that's the thing. She has this voice that's just, it's mysterious, and it just floats out there. And it's just this quietness of her singing the piano, and all of a sudden a chorus comes in and kind of gives it this extra bump and a bam. And here you can see she has a variety of people that are in here singing with her. And I mean, look at all the different producers. Is that because she liked different producers, or she's tough to deal with? I don't know, but there's a whole bunch of them. But there's a variety of different people, including Father John Misty sings on here. The Bleachers, John Baptiste. So very interesting. What, you know, it adds more to it. Again, it has really a dark, dreamy mood to the music on here. There's a one song on here, A and W, which to me means root beer in the U.S. I don't know wherever else, but A and W. It just has this, it's a slow motion lament that's going on, and then suddenly it just explodes with this hard bass that comes in, and almost like a cheerleader type chorus going on in the background behind her. It's totally different, you know, because most of this is quiet. When I first, I really was debating on this album. You know, I'd listened to a little bit online. I go, boy, I don't know. It is so quiet. And then I say, you know what? I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it anyway. And when I first listened to it, I'm still, geez, you know, did I need it? Yeah, I could still say that, but I've liked it with my repeated listenings to it. It's gotten better. Again, it's just something you kind of put on. I generally like more upbeat stuff, and this just, again, she just talks about broken up romance, I mean, tragedy and crap like that. You know, just she's not a little pick me up. I need some happiness. Well, don't pick up Lana Del Rey, but yeah, it's pretty good. Is it my best from her? No, it is not. It definitely is not, but it's not bad. If you're a big Lana Del Rey fan, you want it. If you're not a big Lana Del Rey fan and you like melancholy and slow, dreamy things, yeah, not bad.
I'm probably running away from the thoughts in the dark that have things to do with them, but they say that's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. By the 3rd of March, I was
Is some VCLT. The opening today was by Art. That's Art, the North Carolina vinyl picker. He's from North Carolina. You may not know that, but I thought I should tell you that just in case. And he sent me this. I've got a note here. It goes, "Hope this note finds you well. I'm sending you an album for my fan artists, for my favorite artist, Steve Wilson. It was his last album released in a more modern record, and thought you may like it. He is known for Prague by himself or with Porcupine Tree. His new album comes out in September. Take care." And Art, that is just incredibly good handwriting. I mean, that handwriting is just outstanding, unlike mine. So he sent me this. And I know the name Steven Wilson. Actually, I bought a compilation that was all remixed by him, music that alternative music, and it's a CD box set I had bought. So I was familiar with him. And I'm trying to see what else is in here. Here's the book. This album blew me away. I love this album. And, you know, I've heard Porcupine Tree talked about by many, many people. I have never listened to Porcupine Tree. The word prog sometimes scares me. I know, be brave. Be brave once in a while. Go out, try something new. And, but, wow, this was good. You know, his name's Steven. It's not Mike, you know, so it's not like, you know, Mikey Most down in Australia. Steven Wilson, I mean, how much stuff has he produced and done? It's really incredible. His name's all over everything. You know, and the thing is, you know, he was self-taught. He's self-taught composer, self-taught producer, self-taught multi-instrument. I mean, he plays like everything, even the flute he plays. I think the guy just, he takes stuff, he's interested, he learns about it. Yeah, and it's great. This, you know, as I mentioned, Porcupine Tree was one of his groups. I've never listened to it, but this thing, wow. So The Future Bites, it's his 6th album that he put out, and it's a marriage really of synth pop and electronic music, and it just works. It's a concept album, kind of a loose concept album, dealing with consumerism, or love of consumerism, and also the fact of tech companies and stealing of personal identity. So all that's part in here. So let's just say it's not about happy walk through the forest and look at the waterfall and isn't life great? No, it's more of a warning. It is nice. Now, for instance, there's a song King Ghost on here. It's this beautiful, mysterious electronics that are happening. But then it goes into 12 Things I Forgot. And I'm going to play a sample of that. It's just amazing. It's a wonderful pop song. It's just hooks galore on that thing. It just sounded just incredible. And, you know, there's a beautiful chorus in there, great backing vocals happening. It just packed with hooks, packed with them. Imminent Sleaze was another cool song. It just has this sinister, muscular, beat-driven song happening. And then there's Personal Shopper, which is fun because Elton John is reading a shopping list. That's right, Sir Elton John's on there reading a shopping list that included box sets and 180-gram vinyl. How about that? Obviously about consumerism is a shopping list of things do you really need to have in life? And yes, 180-gram was on there. He did not say flexi discs. Flexi discs are okay by Sir Elton John, just 180-gram. So, Art, thank you. This thing was incredibly good. Totally unexpected surprise from Art. I just blown away by it. It was really, really good. Wait, what's the, oh no, that's part of that. Okay. This thing comes out. I didn't even pull that. No. Well. Oh, okay. Sometimes you need that. Yeah. Wonderful. Oh, the sleeves go right in there. Yeah, I've been putting it away wrong. Okay. Great stuff. So, thank you, Art. Just totally blown away by that. There's so many things that I pretend to you I'm not. Something I lost, and I know what it meant to you. I know what it meant to you. Go into this, and so this is the first of the albums that I received from, that I've been able to listen to from the lottery. And I've shown it already, but I want to talk about it. JC from Miami sent this to me, and it's White Lion. White Lion and Fight to Survive. Now, when you look at this, this just immediately says Steve's probably not going to buy it because those guys have a lot of hair on them, and I just haven't had an interest in that. So I was happy that I received this, because you have to be force-fed some music at times. You know, just the guy's never going to buy one, so here you go. So White Lion, a U.S.-Denmark band, formed in '83, broke up in '92. They got together a little bit later, in the beginning of the new decade. But I don't think they're around anymore. So you have from Denmark, Mike Tramp, I believe, was the person that vocals and guitar, and from the U.S. it was Vito Britta on guitar. They were the basis of this group that formed it. Fight to Survive was the very first album. It was coming out in '82, actually. Oh, the group supposed to be started in '83. Well, it was very early, and Elektra Records did not like it. In fact, they were very unhappy, so much so that they dropped the band. So this never got released. So there it sat. Well, you know, they're out there trying to get it released, and finally they were able to get it put out in Japan and the U.S. And the U.S.'s Grand Slam Records put it out in '84. It actually went up to 151 in the charts. Japan, it really went over big, I guess. But they finally got notice, and then their second album comes out, and was Pride, which is the big one. That's the White Lion one that I know. That's what the vinyl looks like. Very splattery. And the inner sleeve, there is... there's my note from from JC Miami. He did put in, I on the video I read that, and you know why he sent this to me. This album means a lot to him, and his wife knew even a song from this. So I enjoyed this album. Am I converted into hair metal? I probably won't, but you know what? If I can definitely listen to it much better than I ever thought that I could. And, you know, this is not a happy album, quite honestly. These guys have something to say. So this isn't about girls chasing them. You know, girls, girls, girls. No, it's nothing like that. You know, one song's, you know, called Cherokee. It's the plight of Native Americans. Fight to Survive. It's about a homeless child trying to survive. I mean, hey, this is dark stuff that they have going on here. They're really trying to say something. You know, the Road to Valhalla is a little more of a ballad, but it's not necessarily what you would call a ballad per se. It's still a little bit harder. There's a lot of dark lyrics and a lot of minor chords that are being played on here. You know, there's even like all the Fallen Men. It's an anti-war song. So this was a group really trying to say something big, and I think that's why, you know, the record label, man, this is just too much for us. So they put this out. So yes, there's screaming guitars, hard guitars, but there's interest happening within the lyrics on there and what they're trying to say. So I really enjoyed this. Not bad at all. And I won't be having my hair quite like... You wonder if they all still have their hair from all that. I don't know. But yeah, White Lion, Fight to Survive. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you, JC. Appreciate that. Record Store Day, Marble Frog. This is like the one album I really, really, really wanted. If you want to buy it, a medium one on Discogs goes right now. It's priced at $750. It's a band out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they did this album in '68. I think they blew up in '68. Just nothing ever really happened with them. Just tough. It's kind of garage rock, psych rock, probably best described. This thing is filled with distortion, fuzz, fuzzy tunes. It's 10 songs, 10 covers, and then 2 originals. The problem is the mixing is not great. It's low. You have to turn up your volume more. It's a little more muddied. Again, yeah, I guess whoever that place it was recorded in Tulsa, maybe not best recording studio. So, or maybe the master tapes weren't as good. So it is a little muddy. But, you know, they do on here, I'm So Glad from Cream, Born to Be Wild. You know, there's a connection, Strange Brew, Season of the Witch, Fire. So they do some very interesting songs. It's very fuzzed out, psyche sounding. So I did enjoy this. I like this album. You know, if you have a really great stereo system, you're probably going, God, it just doesn't sound as good. But well worth it. You know what? This thing doesn't cost that. I think medium Discogs price for this is like $17. You can pick it up fairly cheap, probably even cheaper. And I'm happy I got this. Marble Frog. I mean, just the name itself, Marble Frog. What more can you ask for? So good stuff. Then we go into Miles Davis. And there's an old sticker, very old sticker, $12.99. It was not $12.99. Actually, I didn't buy this at Dearborn Music either. Miles Davis, Egharta. And this came out in 1975. He recorded the same day he recorded Pangea, whatever it is. He was in Osaka at the festival hall, and so he recorded these live there. This is a 2-album set, and there's only 3 songs. That is it. 3 songs, 2-album set. So it is packed. And again, it was just, this was recorded right before he took that 6-year retirement. Miles was heavy into drugs. Miles was having a lot of other issues, and he just locked himself away in a very dark house and would not appear, and went into this drug-induced exile. So, you know, he was just having a tough time. But this here is, it's really, quite honestly, this is devoid of melody. You're not going to find it. And harmony. There's really no melody, no harmony. It's more about creating a deep voodoo type funk groove. And that's what they do. In the sample, you're going to hear that. Just listen to it. Listen to that bass, man. It is this groove. But that's where you even look at Bitches Brew. How did Bitches Brew start? It started with a groove. Create a groove, which they did, and then they built upon it. They're building upon it again. But Bitches Brew, there was some melody. You can kind of see it going. This is different. There is one, you know, he had 2 guitarists on here. What were their names? Casey. Peter Cosi. Peter Cosi was one, and Reggie Lucas was the other one. And there's this one song called Prelude. And it just, this Cosi just brings in his inner Hendrix. And just, it's pure electronic whammy bar happening. And just goes into this weirdness. It is really, really neat. Very fun. So, really enjoyed it. Great stuff. And Miles Davis, Egharta. So that's what we got for this week. I have another album that I've been trying to show forever, Wolfgang Press, but I keep running out of time. Once again, we run out of time. So, oh well, poor Wolfgang Press. We'll do it another time. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for joining in. I I just got to rest up from vacation for sitting around. Oh my God. Oh my God. But thanks everyone. Have a great week. Bye.